Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and we're here to talk about Sony as they just released the world's smallest and lightest full-frame interchangeable lens camera, or cameras. They just announced the Sony A7 and A7R. We're going to talk more about the features that they both have as we move forward. First, full-frame mirrorless interchangeable lens system. That's right, it's a small-ass system because it doesn't have the mirror in there. It's mirrorless with a full-frame sensor. So that is a huge step up. And for anybody who thinks I don't care about Sony, it's not that I don't care about Sony, it's that they don't send them to me to use. I need to test them out. So hopefully somebody out there will. I think that Borrow Lenses will get these in, so they will at least send them to me to play with. So let's look at the A7. 24 megapixel full-frame sensor. That one's going to be $16.99. The A7R, which is the same exact body, just a different sensor in it, is a 36 megapixel full-frame sensor. This time it has no OLPF. That's the optical low-pass filter. So they're getting rid of that, and that's going to be $22.99 body only. Yes, these are pretty expensive, but you have to think about what you're getting in a small package. Before, people wanted these micro four thirds and smaller, 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 but there's issues as you go smaller. Full frame to me is where you want to be, and Sony has kicked ass with their next system, and they're going to continue to kick ass with this A7 and A7R. Yes, expensive, but let's keep going. A7 on-chip phase detection. The A7R has the only contrast detect autofocus, so I don't fully know the ins and outs of these different types of systems because I am pretty new to how those autofocus systems work, but I'm going to learn as much as possible. From what this sounds like is that, or from using other point-and-shoot cameras in the past, that the A7 isn't going to focus as fast as the A7. Sorry, the A7R isn't going to focus as fast as the A7. Both do 1080 at 60 frames a second. That is pretty good as well. There's also a clean out capability for the uncompressed video. That's an awesome option. A smaller camera with more options for things like uncompressed video. It has a 2.4 million dot electronic viewfinder because now you need a viewfinder with your SLRs. Single lens reflex. I guess it's not a reflex. It's a mirrorless camera, so you still need a viewfinder so you can look through it and make changes. And I like what Sony did with the A99 viewfinder. There's so much information in there that makes it better. Fuji's done a great job with their viewfinder on the X100S. Really awesome what these companies are doing. They're pushing forward and really challenging the thoughts of Nikon and Canon. So Sony, who already makes sensors for Nikon, is doing their own cameras and kicking butt with it and really making a name and pushing the market. Well, we'll just say where they fall short in a second. It has onboard Wi-Fi. It also has a 3-inch screen. They have 5 new lenses, but the things with the new lenses, they're mostly f4s. There's a few 1.8s, but they're just expensive. They seem expensive for the mount that they're creating them for, but they do offer an A mount adapter. I believe they offer 4 different adapters with different types of autofocus, but they have an A mount adapter that's going to allow you to use any of your Sony A lenses. So that is good that you can get an adapter from Sony to do that. That's $200 extra though. So you're spending more money there. Not a bad thing because if you already have the glass, you have the adapter. It just looks a little weird. I was looking at DP Review and seeing their pictures that they put up, and you know, the adapter seems kind of weird. It may become a little awkward, but you can pick up lenses for this camera. It's the E mount, I believe, is what I wrote down here. I don't think I wrote it down, but I believe it's the E mount, and that's what they have 5 new lenses coming for. And then I saw a 70-200 2.8 they're coming out with for the A mount, $3,000. That's another tough thing about Sony is how expensive the glass is. It's not like Nikon and Canon where there's already a ton of glass and they're producing so much and a lot of people have it. You can buy used, you can buy new. Sony is still catching up in that department, in the lens department, but it's still good Zeiss glass. It looks fantastic. It looks like a throwback to any old camera, like an F3, a Nikon F3, Nikon F4. Not as big, but one thing that I wanted to talk about, and we're going to do this mostly on Raw Talk number 57, which is coming up for anybody watching this soon, is this the death of the Micro Four Thirds camera? I know there's been a lot of talk about people switching over to Micro Four Thirds because it's smaller and the quality's getting better, but when you can get a full-frame camera, a full-frame sensor in a body that's almost the same size as one of these Micro Four Thirds, does that mean that it's going the way of the APS film camera? We'll find out. We're going to have a discussion on Raw Talk number 57. So that's it. That's my preview of the Sony A7 and A7R. Pretty interested to try them out because it is a full-frame sensor, and I think it's going to be pretty amazing to use. Expensive, but amazing. So I hope to try it out. If you haven't signed up for the Froknows Photo email list, you can do so by clicking on the screen right now and going to that orange box on the website, typing in your name, email address, and saying, hitting send it, and I will send you a free guide to capturing motion in low-light situations. So there you have it, guys. Jared Polin, FroknowsPhoto.com. See ya. If you're interested in learning more about getting out of auto or flash photography, you have two options that I've created, two different video guides. If you'd like to get the Froknows Photo Beginner Guide to Getting Out of Auto, you can click on that picture right now. Or if you're interested in learning how to use your flash, there's the Froknows Photo Flash Guide. So go ahead and click on that to see a preview of both guides.